So today we're joined with a good friend of mine. We're actually going to be sitting down and talking with Jake Aldridge out of the UK. How are you doing today, Jake?
Yeah, I'm doing real good, thanks, man. How are you?
I'm doing pretty well, actually. Thanks for asking. So now, why don't we go ahead and get started? Why don't you tell everybody where exactly you were from in the UK?
I'm from Suffolk, which is right on the east coast of the UK.
Okay. So now, one of the things that I found very interesting and very fun, separate from my love life, you decided to release your song In the Clouds with your girlfriend, Kelly Brooks, on Valentine's Day. How exactly is that being, well, first of all, how is that to release a song on Valentine's Day? I mean, you're kind of setting the bar pretty high. What do you get to do next year?
Yeah, it was interesting. It was more about timing, I suppose. Do you know what I mean? Like, we finished the track and it kind of all coincided so well. Sometimes you have to plan so far ahead to get things done, like the artwork done and the mastering done and the press releases and all the sort of bits that people don't kind of think about. But it kind of just coincided so well, and with obviously Kelly being my girlfriend, it made sense to me, and the media, the local media, seemed to really like it, and it helped us kind of promote the track, which was great.
Now, it's amazing because now Kelly is a cover artist currently, correct?
That's right, yeah. She covers sort of popular songs. She's been doing it for a little while now. And yeah, I've been kind of waiting for the right track to get her involved with my stuff, and we finally found it.
Okay, so that was kind of a project in the making, if you will. So it wasn't kind of, as far as, you've been waiting to do something and finally something that was worthwhile kind of came across your lap.
Definitely, yeah. Collaboration in the making, yeah. I mean, like, I was a bit skeptical about it at first, to be honest with you, because I didn't want it to add too much pressure to the relationship. Do you know what I mean? I had this vision of us starting a song together and perhaps it not going so well, and I didn't want that to get in the way and to mix business with pleasure like that. But then a part of me felt like, don't take yourself too seriously, Jake. She's a great singer. You need a singer. This track could work, and I'm really happy with the way it came out. And it's great for us now to have that together. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, that's nice. Now, how did you guys exactly meet?
We met through Kelly's sister. Kelly's sister was a fan of my music, and we were talking about one of my tracks or something one time, and she said, oh, you should speak to my sister because she's a really good singer. And she actually put us in touch, and I did give her a call, and Kelly was really, really keen and really interested, and she wanted to work on a track together and stuff. So when we first met, she came over to record another song I was working on. And it just so happened that song didn't really go anywhere, but obviously me and her did. You know what I mean? We kind of clicked and hit it off, and it went on from there. And here we are, like nearly 2 years later, and we put out the first song together. So it's really been cool.
I mean, one of the nice things is being able to work with your girlfriend. I know at times it's got to be, sometimes you want to pull your hair out. I mean, is there ever times when it gets difficult working with your girlfriend?
It was difficult. I think it was more difficult for Kelly than it was for me. But it was like, when I'm in the studio with a singer, naturally it will be someone who I don't know all that well as a person. Do you know what I mean? We kind of have this working relationship, and therefore I can't be so blunt and brutally honest with that person. Do you know what I mean? But with Kelly, I felt like I could be. Do you know what I mean? And I think I'm a bit bossy. I think I'm bossy. And she was like, I think she found that hard to deal with, but she did it. She made it look easy, and everything smoothed out in the end.
Well, that's what you call an artist, and that's probably one of the things that you saw in her. So I wish you guys well. Let's talk about the track "In the Clouds." Who was your producer on that?
The producer on the track was Sam Hadfield. Sam's someone that I've worked with since 2012, and I love the guy, man. He's like my I call him, we're like Batman and Robin, I say to him, because a lot of these tracks, people forget about the producer all the time. Do you know what I mean? Like, you tell the radio stations, oh, it's produced by this person. You tell the music blogs it's produced by this person, and it could be on the press release and everything, but sometimes they don't say that it's credited by that person. Do you know what I mean? They don't give them the props. So I love it when I'm asked about producers, and I love to talk about them because they play such a big role. Do you know what I mean? Like, In the Clouds, the song was only written to the instrumental that he created.
Right.
Do you know what I mean? So In the Clouds would not be, no one would know anything about it had it not been for Sam coming up for that instrumental. He's now known as Year 92, by the way. He's based in Bristol. And yeah, really great producer, someone I definitely love working with.
Well, it's interesting that you say that because, as far as, like you said, I think a lot of producers, there are a ton of them, just like there are artists, and I don't think they get their credit. There's some really, really talented guys out there who, they try to get their music by and get it to people, and sometimes It doesn't. But what I like that you brought up a point and you said that without that track, there would be no In the Clouds. But I mean, taking that a step further, the In the Clouds track, like you said, this wasn't a set of lyrics that you just had sitting around. You actually wrote that to the track, correct?
Yeah, that is correct. I very rarely do that, what you've just explained. I very rarely write some lyrics and then make it fit to a song later, because to me, I want the song to be special, and I want it to be, everything I do, I want it to be customised to fit with that track. Do you know what I mean? And I just find that an easier way of working nowadays, and that's kind of the route I kind of go down. It's very rare that I kind of have a verse sitting around which I'll flip on another track, if you know what I mean, which I know a lot of artists do, but I guess it's just not my thing. I like to customise it for particular tracks, but that does put a lot of credit down to the producer, for coming up with those original ideas that inspire me to write the song. Do you know what I mean? Because without those ideas, there are no songs, and I really want people to know that and to remember Sam Hadfield.
Right. That's why I kind of brought that up, because I write the same way. I mean, I'm a writer, and I write a bunch of different things, and I actually will spend time just writing. I'll write a song to nothing. And I've made the effort to try to add it to something later, and it doesn't seem to fit. Something isn't there, whereas I can get a track from a producer or a track from a friend or an associate, and immediately I know right away, because no matter what I'm doing, whether it's driving, whether it's watching TV, I have to start writing on that track. And so, yeah, I can really appreciate and understand that fact with that, because, that's amazing. So now, with saying that, how long have, I don't know who's Batman and who's Robin, but how long have you and your partner in crime been working together?
Well, like I said, me and Sam started working together in 2012, but Sam, we did some tracks for a couple of years, and then Sam kind of had a bit of a break, and he was switching genres, and during that time I was working with different producers, and we kind of lost touch a little bit, I suppose. But at the end of last year, he reached out and he said that he's back on it and he wants to do another collaboration, and he sent the instrumental for In the Clouds, and it's just one of them moments where you hear something and you're like, yeah, I want this. Do you know what I mean? And that's the way it went, and we just worked together so smoothly, because sometimes when you're working with other producers and it's more of a buy and sell type of relationship, do you know what I mean? Like all of my tracks I buy the exclusive rights for. So in many cases, the producer will sell that to me, I'll buy that off them, and it's like, thanks very much, have a nice day kind of thing. But with Sam, it's more of I feel like it's more of a collaboration. Do you know what I mean? I'll send over the vocal stem and he'll listen to it and say, what do you think about doing this? And we'll throw ideas around together, and to me, that's a proper way of working together. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I'm really impressed by that, which is, I mean, as I sit and think, because I've dealt with, I've got probably over 20 years of working, and I've been everything from up. I've been every phase. I've been at the low end. I've been at the higher end. I've had production. It's just been a lot of everywhere. So I've been able to enjoy. But one of the nicest things is that having a producer that you can go to, because that is your sound. That's somebody that kind of understands. And after a while, you two are kind of, without even knowing each other, you have an unwritten language that's kind of conducive to stuff like this. We're going to go ahead and we're going to play that song after what we've been talking about. This is Sam Hadfield and Jake Aldridge featuring Kellery Brooks. This is that collaboration. So go ahead and check out In the Clouds.
Living your life so carefully, but I'm living mine so carelessly.
Open your mind to a new way of thinking. Life is short, you'll miss it if you're blinking. On your boat, trying to stay afloat but sinking. Cowards will give in while the warriors are winking. Life will test you, under pressure. Champions turn pressure into pleasure. Best you get your backside back into that ring, ding ding. Fighting like you were a wrestler. Been through tough times, but amazingly I live life like nothing phases me. Whether that's stupidity or bravery, with this frame of mind, nothing will be breaking me.
Living your life so carefully, but I'm living mine so carelessly. Play my games without a referee. Anything for some serenity. I've got my head in the clouds. Got my head in the clouds. Got my head in the
broken, gotta turn them away. Burn them with flames and returning your pains. I bet you they get your soul searching for days. Don't be delirious, but my theory is gotta take life a little less serious. When you are surrounded by millions of idiots, you can feel alone, but you gotta show resilience. Though wicked feel like make or break, don't be too scared to make a mistake. Like an earthquake, shake the place. And if you smell that freedom, well, I'll take a taste.
Living your life so carefully, but I'm living mine so carelessly. Play my games without a referee. Anything for some serenity. I've got my head in the clouds. Got my head in the clouds. Got my head in the clouds. And I ain't coming
Can you tell my mentality's got me going against gravity? In the clouds so happily, chasing dreams, not a salary. Life is precious and it's sad to see it getting flushed down the lavatory. You're a tragedy, short of a catastrophe. I can see you're practically just
living your life so
living your life so
carefully,
carefully.
but I'm living mine
But
so
I'm living mine so
carelessly.
carelessly.
Play my games
Play
without
my
a
games
referee.
with no referee.
Anything for some
I'll do anything for serenity.
I've got my head in the clouds. Got my head in the clouds. Got my head in the clouds. And I ain't coming. I've got my head in the clouds. Got my head in the clouds. Got my head in the clouds. And I ain't coming down.
So now, after listening to that song, I mean, for me, it's actually pretty cool because, like I said, weather here has been kind of back and forth. We had a nice little blizzard not too long ago, and weather's just been kind of weird. So now we got this bright sunny day, and I'm listening to In the Clouds. So it's kind of cool. So with that, how exactly, pretty much, how would you describe your style?
It's a really difficult question that I'm asked a lot, you know. It's like, because the majority of my songs have got rapping in them, I should say hip hop. But it is, and it's really not that, if you know what I mean. Like, hip hop just doesn't really sum it up. Because when you think of hip hop, people probably think of gangster rap and whatever else, you know. My music's really not like that. To me, my music is a split of hip hop and R&B, all mixed into one.
So in a sense, kind of, I mean, you're your own person. So, I mean, you know, there's all these, all these images and things that people want to fit into all these molds. So in a sense, with that, because there's a lot of, I guess there's a lot of gangster singers, there's a lot of gangster rappers, there's a lot of positive rappers, there's a lot of positive singers. There aren't as many that cross over genres that way. So there aren't many people that has a better interpretation or a different interpretation of the music, because now you're able to, like I said, sing your hooks, or even you're able to design your hooks in a different way than someone who, like you said, like someone that's a little more gangster or gutter or a little heavier. So it's nice that you're able to shape your style and your I use that as a generic term because it all encompasses the Jake Aldridge sound. But you're able to shape that the way you want, you know?
Yeah, definitely. I think that, like, you know, when I listen to the likes of Drake and Nelly and different artists like that, it almost feels like to me that when they have an R&B song, the whole thing's got to be R&B, from the verse to the chorus to the rest, you know? But for me, I always feel like for Drake, if I was Drake, I would rap my verse and sing my chorus. Do you know what I mean? But they never quite seem to, or it's not so often that they seem to do that. And for me, I think that that's just a part of my style, and every song of mine will always have rapping in the verse and singing in the chorus.
Yeah, I think it's interesting because, you know, there's a lot of similarities to things that I do over here that you're doing there. And so it's nice even from that network aspect, because, yeah, the same thing is I do that a lot. I look to other artists and things. I wear a bunch of different hats because over the years I've had to learn to do different things out of necessity. So I've learned to produce because that wasn't available. It wasn't that I wanted to be cocky. It wasn't that I wanted to not pay another artist or not involve another artist. It just came that sometimes the only thing available was me. So I had to step up and do better or to make that. Do you find that in instances that you had to do that, or is it just something that you started to do by preference?
I think that, to begin with, when I first started, I kind of wanted to learn all of that, and I'm really glad I did learn all that because I still record my own vocals. So there's a lot of those techniques that I learned that have helped me today. I feel like what people don't